I'm Claire Davis and I'm back with Mental Health Chats, and we have got our final guest for this series on body image, and I'm really excited to introduce you to Dr. Serena Goldstein from San Francisco. Hello, Dr. Serena, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. And yourself?
I'm very, very well, thank you. So on Mental Health Chats, we're all about working with you for better emotional fitness. And Dr. Serena is going to be talking to us today about distorted body image. So would you like to explain to everyone, Dr. Serena, what do you actually do?
Yeah. So at the core of it, I speak a lot of natural medicine and conventional medicine. So many of my patients are very informed, very grounded. They want to know what's going on. And then we explore everything from what's happening physically on the inside to the mental emotional, which was actually my first passion because my background is psychology. And then to the very spiritual, because we still have this day to day. So as we group all that together, create their story, it also helps enhance long-term motivation, and then they really can trust and be open to the unknown.
Wow, that's interesting. So what type of doctor are you? Would you like to explain for everyone?
Gladly. So I'm a naturopathic doctor, where it's interesting where you are, naturopaths learn a lot of natural medicine. But here in the States, we learn all the conventional labs, diagnoses, pharmaceuticals, then think herb drug nutrient interactions. So when we graduate, we're primary care, we're trained primary care. And the natural modalities range from minor surgery, IV therapy, botanical medicine, homeopathy, nutrition, and like chiropractic, physical medicine type work. So even in school, we have our minds just expanded as to the many ways we can help people besides just theology. So
Wow.
when we get all these concerns, like, great, let's pick and choose, let's craft, let's have fun, let's
Yeah.
we're here for a short time on earth, so let's make health part of your life and really something to live by that fit in with your values as well.
Oh, that's brilliant. Really interesting. So, Dr. Serena, can you tell us all who are the types of people that you help?
Yeah. So, as I mentioned briefly before, for the most part, because of my own history with eating disorders, I've had a lot of weight and hormonal related concerns. And when I realized a lot of them were syndromes or undiagnosed, then a lot, so I guess in that law of attraction, I do tend to get a lot of people who have tried everything, who aren't quite satisfied with what they're doing. They've tried all the different diets, they've done the 50 supplements and
Mhm.
all the different, just they're smart, and they know that that ICD-10 code and that one solution is not going to be their magic pill, and they want more, and maybe they don't feel like they're normal or fit in a box. And I'm like, fantastic, because sure, there should be some sort of standardization, but at the end of the day, we're still our own humans, and our body has its own timeline.
Oh, interesting. So, how do you, this series is all about body image. So, let's think about somebody who would come to you who has a negative body image. How would you help them to change that mindset to have more of a positive body image?
Yeah, one of the first things I've noticed, because there were times that I don't even do diet diaries with people at first, just because sometimes writing down what they eat is just too painful.
Mm,
So they may still want help, but I also need to honor where they are. So, really, the first thing right off the bat is saying, okay, I understand where you want to heal. Like, what is that threshold of what you're willing to do? And then at the same time, can one of the things we'll also be working on is honoring even when you don't do it. And let me tell you right now, that is totally okay. Sometimes I'll say, I don't even care if you put a pint of ice cream on your diet diary every day. And so what I found is really just creating that space of some sort of acceptance and modeling what unconditional love and support really looks like for them. Because this is still not just their healing journey, but their journey and regaining their confidence in life as well.
Oh, very interesting. So would you be able to, not mentioning any names or too much of a description, but could you give us an example of somebody who would come to you for help? It's obviously more of a one-to-one session. So could you give us an example of why they would come to you, how they will get to the stage of actually calling you and saying, Dr. Serena, I need some help, and then the journey that you may have with them, how long it may take, etc.?
Yeah, great questions. So right off the bat, I do offer a complimentary 20-minute phone call from my website. So I have all my resources there, but you can just scroll down, book your call, we'll hop on the phone and then just see, you know, if it's a good match, just even energetically, do we vibe? And then from there, I do use electronic health records, including doing virtuals. So everything is HIPAA secure. I always joke you could plop everything on my desk because chances are they've had the blood work, they've had the, you know, more functional related tests, and they've gotten the genetic tests and maybe some imaging. They have a lot of information. So then I say, great, I can help sort through that, but I'm still looking at the person. Then we'll go through your paperwork. We'll have the first visit, which is about 60 minutes. So very comprehensive. And then I meet with people for 30 minutes monthly, just, you know, to check in. But what I find is there's a lot of aha moments because what I'm listening for and what I'm getting at each visit. So for example, as I am thinking of a specific patient, same thing, we couldn't do a diet diary, a lot of trepidation around food, but she knew her hormones were out of whack and she wanted to lose weight. So it's like, how, you know, want to lose weight, don't want to deal with food, and food is major. So how do we bridge that? So whether it's looking at sleep, maybe we'll start with water intake first.
Yeah.
And then if I'll give a little nudge, I always encourage communication because we talk a lot about boundaries. And this could even mean like, okay, so what you're learning with me, now when you want to go to a party, and this is what can come up in follow-ups or a Zoom happy hour, what if you don't feel like having alcohol? What if you don't feel like having something sugary or whatever that vice is? So we can have some supplements, whether it's some herbs. So when I do try to recommend, you know, anything, it's from that mental, emotional, as well as physical standpoint. So I'm working both on the grounding and then the physiology as well. So we're kind of doing a lot with even just one. So we're maximizing it. So it's part of your life. And these are the moments where it's like, all right, this is your decision to choose whether or not you have to. No one made you. It's a mere suggestion. And trust that if you don't feel good around the people that you're making a decision to not do something or maybe do something different, there are more people like you. And so then what's going to happen is you're eventually going to attract the so-called right people or where you are into your life. So yeah, a lot of our journey is just what happens in, and then how do we move out in the world to where you can maintain that health. And even in the times of slip ups, because that's the human journey, how can you take responsibility from a place of empowerment and not judge yourself? So once again, it just comes back to me saying, I'm honoring the person in front of me. Let me be that model for you. And then over time, they get much more confident. Maybe they hand me a diet diary a few months later. And I'd say usually a good 4 to 6 months, all of a sudden their goals, it's now going beyond weight and hormones. They're just so jazzed about how they're feeling. And then I can help bring more in. But now they're also coming to me with different questions about the why. And, oh, I realized this, I realized that. How do I work through this? Oh, I've noticed this pattern. And then we see the pattern start to rise. And eventually, at some point, they start to notice not just the patterns in their life moving forward, but that they're okay. And they have the tools to not just handle or deal, or rather integrate what they need, but they're also confident enough that they will always know what to do.
It's interesting. And when, because, you know, the series is on body image, so when do you see sort of the turning point where they're feeling a lot more happy in their body, in themselves?
I would say at about 3 to 4 months.
Yep. Yeah, interesting.
Because so it takes, it takes about 2 to 3 months to form a habit. You know, the first 3 weeks, I'd say after the first visit, their head is spinning, but in a good way. Yeah. Because I also hear wow, I've never heard a doctor say this before, or I've never been able to voice all of this, because we're also going into, what were you told growing up? What did you get influenced through by the media? You know, just all these different aspects, but saying it's okay, because there's generational trauma, there's generational karma, there's past karma. So as we share, like, we will explore these reasons, because the more you relax and your nervous system kind of drops, it's also allowing the memories to come in a really safe manner. So then that shift, it's like, that's when the aha moments start really coming in, you know, after around the 3rd visit or so. But there's this momentum building usually after, especially after the first, another one after the second, right? It's like, oh, I get it now. Like, and all of a sudden they're asking me questions that weren't even on the intake form. So.
Brilliant. Thank you. That's so interesting. So do you work face-to-face as well as virtually?
Yes, at some point here too, as things begin to open up and get a little more in a groove, yes, I'm sure I will have an office around here. Say if there are some local San Franciscans or Californians watching. But that said, you know, I also do virtual and have that support as well. So
excellent. So you can, anybody from all over the world, I'll put your
website. I just encourage you to book that phone call and we'll get you going.
Excellent. So it doesn't matter where anyone's located, it can be virtual as well as face-to-face. You've been so enlightening. Thank you very much, Dr. Serena. It's been brilliant to work with you. And it's so interesting, the different ways that we can approach to have more of a positive body image. It's so, so important. And it's helping ourselves to be happy in ourselves of who we are. We're not, you know, we've got to enjoy life. We've really got to enjoy life for what it is. So thank you very much. Our last guest for this series. And so Benny is back next time, and we're going to be bringing together all of the statistics and the facts about having more of a positive body image to help you all out there in these very, very difficult times. So thank you and take care.